What's up, my Central Unit Galaxy? Is the Central Man here, so back again with another WCW pay-per-view review. The last review of the WCW pay-per-view of 2000 was Spring Stampede, the final Spring Stampede in WCW history. After that, I didn't do another WCW pay-per-view review of the year 2000. I did reviews of WCW pay-per-views of the 90s. The first Bash of the Beach of 94, Hog Wild 96, and the Great American Bashes of 95 and 1998. So in this installment, I'm going to review the Great American Bash of 2000, the final Great American Bash in WCW history before WWE revived it in 2004. I covered the Great American Bash of 2004 on this channel. So the Great American Bash of 2000 at the Baltimore Arena. Right now it's called the Royal Farms Arena in Baltimore, Maryland, on the 11th of June 2000. The attendance for the show was 7,031, and the buy rate for Great American Bash of 2000 is an 85,000 buys. Very poor, and very decreased from the 99 Great American Bash pay-per-view, because the attendance was way better than this Great American Bash. Because the 1999 Great American Bash attendance was 11,672, and the buy rate from Great American Bash 99 was 185,000 buys, really decreased by 100%. And also the main event of Great American Bash 99 was Kevin Nash versus Randy Savage for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. At this point in WCW in 2000, people starting to tune out of WCW. Basically, probably watched ECW and also watching the WWF, because their products were so better. ECW was starting to decline because they got a bit of a financial resources and again fucked by TNT, sorry. Anyway, so yeah, the tagline for Great American Bash of 2000 is a battle of heroic proportion, and the commentators for Great American Bash of 2000 are Tony Schiavone, Mark Madden, and Scott Hudson. Mark Madden is basically a poor man's Jerry Lawler. If you watch WCW shows of 2000, where it's Nitro, Thunder, or even the pay-per-views, just ignore Mark Madden. He's just a shit commentator. Before I talk, I need to drink my water. And also, the major storyline in WCW in 2000 is still the faction warfare between the Millionaires Club and the New Blood. So the first match to kick off Great American Bash of 2000, we got the Cruiserweight title match between Lieutenant Loco defending the belt against Disco Inferno. Lieutenant Loco is the former Chavo Guerrero. And also, there's another faction warfare in WCW. We got the Misfits in action and the Filthy Animals. So the MIA is basically an army gimmick. The leader was Hugh Morris, or basically at the time it's called Hugh G. Retchen. He's the leader of the group. You got Lieutenant Loco, who's basically Chavo Guerrero. Basically had Private Stash, is basically Van Hammer. Tigress, and also G.I. Bro. That is Booker T. I'll get to Booker T later on in this review. And also, with this group known as the Filthy Animals, you got Rey Mysterio, Juventud Guerrera, Disco Inferno, Conan, and also Tigress. It's basically they're both. I think they are. This is a mid-card faction, because basically the New Blood and the Millionaires Club are the top factions in WCW at the time. Anyway, so because not WCW, Vince Russo has a history of faction warfare, because he did it in '97. With the Hart Foundation, DX, Nation of Domination, Truth Commission, Los Buicas, and DOA. Anyway, so back to the opener between I'm gonna call him Chavo Guerrero versus Disco Inferno for the Cruiserweight title. Not a good match. It's a very damn shame, because in mid-90s and late 90s WCW, they produced a lot of great Cruiserweight matches, and also great Cruiserweight title matches. And now, fast forward in 2000, the Cruiserweight title is dead, and the division was a joke. And also, this match was a clusterfuck. Every time Lieutenant Loco, or fuck calling Chavo Guerrero. I call him Chavo Guerrero. Like when Chavo Guerrero was out of the ring, you got the filthy animals beating down Chavo Guerrero, and then when Disco Inferno was out of the ring, the MIA, the Misfits in Action, beat down Disco Inferno. Basically, it's a bit of a clusterfuck. And also, they were doing reference of WWF. You had Juventud Guerrera. At the time, he was doing a parody of The Rock. I think he was called The Juice at the time. He was doing like the People's Elbow. And then you got Disco Inferno hit the Stone Cold Stunner. Basically, they're just doing reference of Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. And then in the end, you had Lieutenant. No, what was I, Lieutenant? You got you got Lash LaRue. I'm trying to say, hit like a Russian leg sweep onto Disco Inferno. Chavo pins Disco to win this match and retain the Cruiserweight title. And also got this old man. You got this old man wearing this army suit, came down to the ring, flirting with Tigress. And then you got Conan and the filthy animals get into this old man's face. Basically, Conan pushing this old man around, and this old man basically like having a heart attack. That is fucking stupid. Using a heart attack thing in a storyline that's not poor in taste. Anyway, and then you got the MII and the filthy animals brawl, and then afterwards you got Major Guns basically ripping her t-shirt because she's a fitness model, basically giving this old man mouth-to-mouth CPR, and this old man revived, trying to make out with Major Guns. Yeah, that was a bit gross and shit. So yeah, that was a fucking shit match. Okay, and then we got a tag team match. We got Chronic, that is the two Bryans, Brian Adams and Brian Clark, taking on the Mamalukes, that is Big Vito and Johnny the Bull. At this time, Big Vito and Johnny the Bull, the Mamalukes, are the WCW Hardcore Champions. And also, this match is for number one contender for the WCW World Tag Team Championships. I think the Tag Team Champions are the Perfect Events, that is Sean Stasiak and Chuck Palumbo. Before I talk about this match, with a water break. This match is good. I'm gonna be honest. This was a good match. Not a 4-star classic. This was a decent, good match. The Chronic, the two Bryans, they're very athletic. And same as Big Vito and Johnny the Bull, they're really good in the ring. It's a damn shame Chronic and the Mamalukes never have a proper crack in WWF. Going into the when WWF become WWE, in the Ruthless Aggression era. If they were in the Ruthless Aggression era, they'd probably be tag team champions, whether in Raw or SmackDown at the time. But they never got a proper crack, including Chronic, because they got squashed by The Undertaker and Kane in 2001 in the Evasion angle. So, and this is the only match without any interference. Basically, Big Vito take no notice of Johnny the Bull because he's more focused on the Hardcore Championship. In the end, Chronic got the victory, hit a double chokeslam onto Johnny the Bull to win this match. And yep, Chronic will face the Perfect Event. Okay, and then we got Mike Awesome versus DDP. Mike Awesome. He was, what was it called? The Career Ender is called. This is like 5 years before Randy Orton became the Legend Killer. Basically, he's doing, Mike Awesome was doing the storyline, doing this gimmick like he's ending careers in WCW. Yeah, I think he's called the Career Ender. Is trying Career Killer is trying to. They dubbed him. I was calling Career Ender, but it's Career Killer. He's basically killing careers of legends. Anyway, and also he was basically like Hulk Hogan's cousin at the time. Anyway, so this was a good match, and there was interference in this match. Basically brought down this match a little bit down in my opinion, but it's still a good match between Mike Awesome and DDP. And DDP wheeling Chris Kanyon on a wheelchair because at the previous month's pay-per-view Slamboree, the final Slamboree in WCW history, they did this triangle cage match between the WCW champion David Arquette DDP and Jeff Jarrett. You had Canyon climbing the cage, and he got fall off the cage 20 feet down. And of course, the Slamboree show was in Kansas City. It was at the Kempe Arena, and fans got pissed off and offended because that was the same arena, the same city of Kansas City that Owen Hart lost his life on the show. It's basically like Russo trolling the fans, Anyway, so Canyon was on the wheelchair. Anyway, this was a really good match. They did like a sword chair fight, fighting in the crowd. Awesome, like powerbomb DDP through a table. Yeah, there was some interference. Like I said, you had Kimberly, DDP's wife, basically hit DDP with a pipe, and then you got Miss Hancock, basically Stacy Keibler. Not say they didn't really fight. Basically, like Hancock kind of really pulled the hair of Kimberly, drag her out of the building. And then you got Eric Bischoff coming out. DDP trying to attack Bischoff. This was after when DDP hit like a diamond cutter onto Mike Awesome off the top rope. That was sick. DDP was going after Bischoff, but instead Canyon basically attacked DDP, hit the diamond cutter off the stage. Basically, Awesome basically put DDP in the stretcher, put him in the ambulance, and Mike Awesome won this match. And this was the final time Mike Awesome was the career filler. After that, he was basically, they ruined him after that. After they kind of changed his gimmick to career killer to the fat chick thriller. Basically, he was, Mike Awesome was hitting on fat chicks, and then that 70s guys. Basically, they ruined Mike Awesome after that. And then the segment after, really later on in the show, basically Canyon says the only person visit Canyon in the hospital was Eric Bischoff. And then after that, they changed Canyon's character to Possibly Tooney Canyon. Basically, he was basically doing a parody of DDP's gimmick. Anyway, so it was a good match. If you take away the interference, that could be like probably the match of the night. Okay, then we got a boot camp match between G.I. Bro versus Sean Stasiak. G.I. Bro is, Booker T. This is the last pay-per-view he became G.I. Bro before he was going back as Booker T. Anyway, so Sean Stasiak is, I think he's one half of the tag team champions. He was the Perfect Event with Chuck Palumbo. He was used to do this story. He was doing this gimmick, doing a parody of Mr. Perfect, being a Mr. Perfect ripoff. I think they dropped it because Mr. Perfect left WCW at the time, so he was in the tag team with Chuck Palumbo. Yeah, the boot camp match. This is basically a last man standing match. This was good, but there's one thing: interference. I think too many interference kind of brought down this show. Basically, this one funny part, and you had basically Stasiak kind of slam Booker T's face in the steel steps, and then you got Booker T shouting "ah shit." You had Chuck Palumbo came beating down Booker T. I'll call him Booker T. G.I. Bro. Come on. They beating down Booker T. I think Booker T came back, hit the what's it called, the Flex Lexer on both on Palumbo and Stasiak. Booker T wins, and this was really, like I said, this was a good match. It wasn't, I don't think this match was bad. This was good. This was for the free matches. Chronic versus Mamalukes, Mike Awesome versus DDP in the ambulance match, and the boot camp match between G.I. Bro and Sean Stasiak. Which one's the match of the night? I'm gonna have to say the G.I. Bro versus Sean Stasiak. I think it told a good story. Because Sean Stasiak is a good worker. Let's be honest. Anyway, so after that, the show went downhill for that. After that, this match. Then we got the franchise Shane Douglas versus The Wall in a 5-out-of-1 tables match. Basically, you had to put your opponent through a table 5 times. This was fucking stupid. Basically, like you got The Wall chokeslam Sean Douglas twice, through tables, and then they were fighting on the ladder. Shane Douglas basically knocked the wall out because he's wearing brass knuckles. Hit the wall went through 3 tables, and Shane Douglas won this match. This was fucking stupid. Why you put this on a pay-per-view that people are spending? This match should be on Nitro or Thunder, not on your pay-per-view that people spend a lot of money. Anyway, yeah, this show got very worse after that. Then we got a handicap asylum match. Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner taking on Tank Abbott and his brother Rick. The asylum match is basically their version of the Lion's Den match. I will take the Lion's Den match over this match. This was fucking shit. Steiner is the US champion at the time. The only 2 belts defended on this show was the Cruiserweight title and the World Heavyweight Championship. The tag teams, Hardcore, United States title were not defended on this show. Yeah, this match was shit. In the end, basically Steiner locked Tank Abbott with the standing recliner to win this match. And after that, they gave up on Tank Abbott. You know, he was not that good in the ring. You know, they had plans to have him win the world title. That was dropped. And after that, he was teaming up with Free Count in the rest of the summer, really throughout the last stage of the summer in 2000. And then they let him go after New Blood Rising. And then we got Hulk Hogan versus Billy Kidman. Winner becomes the #1 contender for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. And also you got Horace Hogan, basically Hulk Hogan's, I'm guessing it's Hulk Hogan's nephew, to be the special guest referee. This match, I'm gonna be honest, this was okay of a match. It wasn't bad. It wasn't like a 4-star classic, but it was good. Actually, it was okay for what it is, you know. You know, Hogan, Hogan was kind of like past his best. Kidman, they kind of dropped the ball. Because at this time, Hogan, it's basically just Millionaires Club versus New Blood rivalry. Anyway, so, you know, one moment of the match, basically Hogan hip tossed Kidman through a table. Then you got, once again, more interference. You got, basically, Torrie Wilson came out, gave Hogan the brass knuckles. And then you got Kidman I think he drop kicked Hogan, and Hogan kind of bumped into Torrie Wilson, and Torrie Wilson kind of fall off the ring apron, selling his ankle. Her ankle, I'm trying to say. I called Torrie Wilson a man, Jesus Christ. Anyway, so this, you got Hogan, basically you had the Torrie Wilson low blow Kidman. Hogan hit like a knuckle, really using the brass knuckles onto Billy Kidman to win this match. And Hogan, basically, if Hogan loses this match, he will retire. That was a load of bullshit. Hogan is #1 contender for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. And I'll get to the aftermath later on the show. And you know, it's just like, it's not too bad match. Nothing special. But it wasn't cringeworthy bad. And then we got Ric Flair versus David Flair. If Ric Flair lose, Ric Flair retired. Yeah, this storyline, you had Ric Flair and David Flair. Basically, David Flair turned on his father, Ric Flair, to set up this match. And they had one match, and a cage match on Nitro. Basically, like, they poured Ric Flair. Ric Flair was covered in blood. You know, and I think one storyline, one moment, you had Ric Flair, Medican, Vince Russo. You know, go and check it on YouTube. It's very funny. Anyway, so you got Rick and his family. Basically, you had Beth, Elizabeth, Reed, and Ashley, the future Charlotte, was in the attendance. And yeah, this match was like the Hogan and Kidman match. You know, because the Kidman rivalry with Hogan didn't do nothing. I think it's the same as David Flair. What did it achieve? Nothing. Russo interfered. Russo was in David Flair's corner, and the fans were chanting "Russo sucks." And Russo did get involved in this match. Basically, hit Ric Flair with the baseball bat, locking in the basically handcuffed Ric Flair. And then you got Reed Flair, low blow Russo, and then Ashley. Basically, Ashley's the future Charlotte. Basically, uncuffed Ric Flair. And basically handcuffed Vince Russo. In the end, David Flair tapped out. Ric Flair locked in the figure 4 leg lock. And basically they beat down Flair beat down Russo. Russo was on the mic, called Ric Flair a piece of shit. and called bitches towards Ashley and Reed, and basically Russo challenged Ric Flair to a match the next night on Nitro, and that next match on Nitro was a clusterfuck. Basically, they beat down Flair, shaved off his head. He didn't shave his head bald, but Ric Flair's hair never grew back the same after that. Yeah, it's just like, it's an okay match, but David Flair was not that good. At least, he was okay, but he was not that super great. Like, Lisa Charlotte was, you see with Charlotte right now, at least Charlotte was completely better in the ring than David. I think David was not too ready. He was not ready in the ring. I think he was better off as a personality more than a wrestler. If he spend more time training, maybe he might be a good wrestler. Yeah, anyway, so moving on to the next match. We got Vampiro versus Sting in a Human Torch match. What the Who's fucking writing this crap? Seriously, man. Basically, Sting's on the top of the WCW's rip-off version of the Titantron. Said, if you want to get the touch, fight up there. And basically, Vampiro shouted at Mark Madden, "You know about this? Why you didn't tell me?" And Madden says, "I didn't know." And Vampiro said bullshit towards Mark Madden. They were fighting in the ring. Vampiro doused Sting with petrol. They were fighting on, like I said, this rip-off version of the Titantron. And you got Vampiro setting fire to Sting. Actually, it wasn't the real Sting. It was a fake Sting stunt double. Push him off this rip-off version of the Titantron. And the fucking commentators selling it like Sting was killed. And the show went on. Sting really returned at the next month's pay-per-view, Bash at the Beach, to confront Vampiro after he competed in that match against the Demon in a graveyard match. And I don't think they had another rematch between Sting and Vampiro. Probably on Nitro or Thunder, because he fought the Demon at New Blood Rising. It's just like, it's really funny, like a decade ago, Sting was fighting Flair for the World Heavyweight Championship, and then a decade later, he's facing Vampiro. Like Kidman, like Flair, Vampiro's win against Sting didn't do nothing. It didn't do nothing, man. So, and moving on to the main event. The main event, we got Jeff Jarrett defending the WCW World Heavyweight Championship against Kevin Nash, and then you got Ernest Miller coming out, announced the special guest Bell Timer. Basically, like he brought out the Filthy Animals: Rey Mysterio, Conan, Juventud Guerrera, Disco Inferno. This match is a fucking clusterfuck. And also, Ernest Miller is the special guest referee or enforcer. And I think Ray, Disco, Conan, Juventud are basically the special guest bell ringers. Yeah, it was a clusterfuck. Like, the little box of the match, Jarrett was working on the leg of Kevin Nash, locking in the figure 4 leg lock. It basically, one problem of Jeff Jarrett is, he's just ripping off Honky Tonk Man and Ric Flair. That's another rant for another time. And then, Kevin Nash as Superman, beating down members of the Filthy Animals. And then you got, the referee got knocked out. Ernest Miller came in to do the referee when basically Jarrett was going for the guitar shot. Kevin Nash chokeslammed Jarrett. Miller was about to do a free count. The cat basically pretended he got hit in the eye, and then Kevin Nash hit basically the Jackknife Powerbomb onto the cat. Actually, the cat is Jerry the King Lawler's wife. I'll call him Ernest Miller. And then you got this, throughout the whole show, you had this fucking Goldberg monster truck. Because in storyline, Goldberg got suspended. Because if he go into that stadium or the arena, he will probably get arrested. But anyway, then you got this same Goldberg monster truck showed up in the ring, and then Goldberg went through the crowd. Didn't went through the crowd. He came to the arena, came to the ring. He thought he's gonna save Kevin Nash, but instead he turned on Kevin Nash. It was a fucking swerve. He speared Kevin Nash. Jarrett pins Kevin Nash. Jeff Jarrett retains the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. This was the biggest middle finger for WCW. I think Goldberg's, if I compare, and also fans were throwing trash in the ring, they got super pissed off. If I compare, before I get to the rest of the rant, need my drink. Yeah, if I compare the the heel turns between Hulk Hogan's heel turn at Bash of the Beach 96 and Goldberg's heel turn on this show, Great American Bash of 2000, which one's is the better? Yeah, I have to say Hogan's because with Hogan, yeah, it's the same scenario. You know, fans throwing trash in the ring because at least with Hogan, he turned heel. He turned his back on the WCW locker room, did the leg drop on to Randy Savage, and allied himself with Hall and Nash and formed the NWO. That was leading up to the company's boom period 7 years earlier. This heel turn with Goldberg at Great American Bash in 2000, what they didn't do nothing. You know, it pissed people off. It didn't book it in advance. It's basically it's WCW's version of basically the WWE company 1 year later when Austin turned heel. You know you can't compare Austin and Goldberg, or at least Austin was better in the ring because Goldberg is basically WCW's version of Steve Austin with the bald head, the goatee, and the black trunks. And Goldberg was WCW's homegrown talent, is WCW's basically biggest babyface at the time. Turning heel is one of WCW's biggest nails in the WCW coffin, man. You know, it's just like it didn't do nothing. I think they had the match. You know, Goldberg fought Kevin Nash at next month's Bash of the Beach, the final Bash of the Beach in WCW history. I think it was for Scott Hall's contract. And it didn't lead to Goldberg winning another world title. You know, if they just book it months in advance, because weeks before the show, Goldberg and Nash are on a neutral respect. And also, let's have Goldberg turn on heel and Nash. It didn't do nothing. There had rumors like Goldberg pitched the whole idea, and I think it was Russo or Bischoff's idea to do this turn. Didn't do nothing. It completely backfires. Yeah, and this main event was completely clusterfuck. You basically had Scott Steiner and Tank Abbott fighting. Basically, yeah, the filthy animals interfered. It was boring, man. Fucking boring. So, anyway, so my final rating for the final Great American Bash in WCW history. I don't give it 4 out of 10 or 3. I'm gonna give it 2 out of 10. Fucking shit. I think the 3 matches you should probably watch is Chronic vs. the Mamalukes, Mike Austin DDP in the ambulance match, and G.I. Bro versus Sean Stasiak in the boot camp match. Like the ambulance match and the boot camp match, yeah, they had some interference, but it was still a good match. The only match without any interference has to be Chronic versus the Mamalukes. Besides that, there was so much shit. This is opposite than Great American Bash 95 because you had the good match between, like I said, Pillman and Alex Wright in the opener, and a good main event between Flair and Savage. This is the opposite. Shit cruiserweight title match between Chavo Guerrero and Disco Inferno, and the main event was very bad between Jarrett and Kevin Nash. It was. Besides that, the funs in the middle matches are, you know, Hogan and Billy Kidman, and Ric Flair versus David Flair. They were okay, but nothing good or bad. Most of them are fucking crap. You basically had the silent match between Scott Steiner versus Tank Abbott and Rick Steiner. The bastardizing human touch match between Vampiro and Sting. Basically, they're trying to kill Sting on pay-per-view. It was a fake Sting, but it was so fucking stupid. I don't know why Sting totally agreed doing this, man. He should have, like, quit WCW and go to the WWF. So, and also, and the fucking tables match between Shane Douglas and The Wall. It was a clusterfuck, man, so. Oh my god. I'm just, like, it's what a fucking bad show, man. Just. Don't blame Vince Russo on his own. I just don't. I don't blame him on his own. Because he did play a massive part of the WWE success in the Attitude Era. You know, he was the booker of the WWF in '96 and left in 1999 to go to WCW. Yeah, at the same time, he was trying to do his version of the WWF in WCW. It totally backfired on Vince Russo. I just don't blame Vince Russo on his own. Bischoff, you know, was the catalyst of WCW's boom period 7 years earlier, bringing in the stars like Hogan, Savage, you know, the NWO, the rise of Nitro's success, being Raw in the ratings of 83 weeks. You know, I just I blame, Russo, Bischoff, and also Kevin Sullivan. even some bastards in the creative team in WCW at the time, because this is the reason why. This is the type of shit why WCW declined, really demise in 2001, went out of business in 2001. Yeah, you can bring up Ted Turner. You know, he decided to pull the plug on WCW. He didn't want to produce wrestling anymore. That's another topic for another time. So, yeah, and they're pushing the right talent. You know, with Steiner and Booker T and Jeff Jarrett. But at the same time, they were pushing like Vampiro, David Flair, Kidman. They're not really getting over. Their feuds with Hogan, Flair, and Sting didn't do nothing for them. It just simply didn't do nothing. So, and then also, yeah, Sting and Goldberg twiddle their thumbs in mid-card feuds. So, anyway, so that's my review of WCW of Great American Bash 2000. Hope you like it. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash the like button and subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube. So, this is Central Man officially signing out. Check you later.